What is up, Earth Sphere citizens and rebel colonists? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are heading back into space as we travel through After Colony 195. Last time, Trowa tried to blow himself up. Zex gave back Unit 1 to Hito, but told the Romefeller Foundation that it was destroyed. This episode, they find out about Zex's deception and go to arrest him. The Gundam engineers will also start making a Gundam for Oz. Doth thou make haste, and let's begin this. Leos are fighting the new Taurus mobile suits within Colony Area D and failing. The Oz 12S MS Taurus is Oz's mass-produced mobile suit designed to replace the Leo space type. We will later see this unit used by the Sank Kingdom as well. What is more important about this mobile suit is that it was the first to utilize the mobile doll system. This is a remote AI system that controls the mobile suit. The problem, as we saw with Zex using the Tallgeese, is that humans can only handle so many Gs to the face. With the mobile doll unit, this is no longer a problem. It is equipped with a beam rifle, a beam cannon, a laser gun, and a beam saber. One of the pilots of the Taurus is Nicole. In command of this unit is Lady Un, but she looks different. She now has her hair down and her glasses off. She begins taking control of Earth Alliance colonies. They are essentially doing what they did on Earth and now directing it towards the colonies. Lady Un talks to a young leader who is thirsty to side with Oz. One thing he notes is that they are the third generation of humans living on the colonies. Nonetheless, it seems that Oz has people on their side. Quattro and Duo are watching the news of Oz taking over the colonies. He says that it is time to return to space. They make a plan to try to get back into space without being noticed, but it doesn't seem like this is going to be possible, so they send out a call to the other Gundam pilots to meet up in space. If you are going to be noticed, might as well have the whole boy band together. The colony leaders are trying to make a decision about what to do with Oz. The young leader that was eating out of the hands of Lady Un encourages the rest to side with her. The older leaders are very concerned by this action. Meanwhile, Oz finds an engineer around the Gundam manufacturing plant. This is Professor G. He is the creator of the Death Scythe Gundam. Lady Un goes to interrogate him. Professor G tells her that he only created the one Gundam and has nothing to do with the others. Lady Un gets a message that the Gundam pilots are overtaking a base and trying to make their way back into space. Duo and Quattro are the ones trying to overtake the base, but there is an overwhelming amount of forces. They are pushing so hard at this base so they can get onto the news and so that it will inform the other Gundam pilots. In space, Lady Un and Nicole find and capture another Gundam designer. This time, they find Dr. J. The news begins picking up their battle, but suddenly, the young colony leader announces to the world that they do not represent the colonies and that they are their enemies. There are too many Oz forces on the base. Suddenly, Shenlong comes in and helps out Duo and Quattro. He tells the two that his message was heard. Trowa and Hito are fighting as well. They are not on the same base, but they know what they have to do now. They all fight and plan to head to space. Duo goes and heads towards the HLV units. HLV stands for Heavy Lift Vehicle and dumps heavy things out into Earth orbit. Wu Fei and Duo take off, but Duo is mad at Quattro for being a hero. Quattro begins his self-destruct sequence and bails from the Sandrock Gundam. The Gundam explodes. Somewhere else, Hito uses a mass driver system to bail from a random Oz base. Lady Un takes Dr. J to a holding cell when he meets the other Gundam creators. They greet and congratulate each other for being able to complete their own Gundams. It seems to have been 15 years since they have last met one another. Lady Un notices that the Gundam pilots are making their way to space, and the red alert goes up at the base. Dr. J says that they will regret keeping them alive. After interrogations, Lady Un finds that the 5 men were the ones that created the Tallgeese unit that Zex currently pilots. Once the blueprints for the Tallgeese mobile suit were created, all 5 men mysteriously vanished. Lady Un wants to force them to make Oz a new mobile suit that is stronger than the Tallgeese and, more importantly, stronger than the Gundams. Last episode, the Romefeller Foundation was suspicious of Oz having the Gundam. Zex pretended to blow it up, but it seems that wasn't the case. Oz arrests Zex. Trace asks him why, and Zex tells him that he is fighting the Gundams for selfish reasons and no longer believes in the Romefeller Foundation. Oz will be sending in troops to kill Zex. It seems Trace is testing him again, and he's over it. Chief Engineer Tuberoff is testing out the mobile doll system. This is a Leo being remotely piloted. Suddenly, Trace and a Leo comes in and destroys the mobile rebel dolls. He tells Oz soldiers helping Tuberoff to assassinate him, but quickly rescinds those orders to give him a scare. Trace reminds Tuberoff that war isn't just about superiority and to value human life more. Trace hopes that Zex returns to the battlefield because if not, more people like Tuberoff will start running Oz. A shuttle is spotted by Alliance soldiers. They believe it is a Gundam pilot. They wonder if they should have them help fight against Oz or to give him to Oz in exchange for their safety. They decide to help the pilot, but Oz intercepts the transmission. Lady Un tells the engineers to build a mobile suit, but gives her a lesson on war instead. She finds out of the Alliance and the mobile suit pilot and tells Nicole to wipe them all out. Oz Leos takes on the Alliance Leos. On the shuttle is Katra, but he doesn't have his Gundam, so Lady Un tells her men to shoot it down. Dr. J gives in and says that they will build them a mobile suit if they don't shoot down the shuttle. She agrees. The Alliance picks up Katra and realizes he is just a kid. Lady Un lies to the engineers and tells Nicole to take out the shuttle anyways. They take out the shuttle, but only kill the Alliance member. Katra was randomly put inside a damaged Leo drifting out into space. Back on Earth, Zex prepares for Trace's attack and destroys all the forces. Trace becomes Hamlet and says that now that his mask is broken, he can no longer be friends. In space, Hiro is at another school assuming another identity. His teacher tells him to introduce himself and uses that as an opportunity to talk about his manifesto. Zex wakes up after being passed out on a beach. He wakes in the hands of Howard. Howard was a former Tall Geese engineer, but wasn't one of the 5 to go on to make the Gundams. Meanwhile, Lady Un becomes the new commander of the Space Force and begins forming relations with representatives from the colonies, similar to how she influenced the young leader earlier. The whole Lady Un throwing her hair down, taking off her glasses cliche was such a huge thing throughout the 90s, I'm sure it'll work this time. An Oz soldier comes in and tells her to return to the Bulge, or Barge. These orders are directly from Trace. This sentence changes her entire demeanor back to the cold, cynical, and worst of all, glasses-wearing Lady Un that we remember. They find an HLV and think that it may contain a Gundam. Oz goes to pick up the HLV capsule. Duo, in the death sight, slices out of the HLV and begins attacking the Tauruses. They are faster than he thought. The Duo takes out Deathsight's arm. Duo takes a page out of Hiro's book and tries to blow himself up, but it doesn't work. The Tauruses take Duo as a prisoner. Trowa is watching Duo being arrested on the news. Trowa realizes that he is too far away to save Duo, but Hiro is closer, and that he will most likely act. Hiro, of course, sees this on the news as well. They intend to execute him in the morning. Hiro comes into his cell. He actually intends to kill him. They have a dramatic moment before Hiro decides to save him, and they begin to make their escape. Hiro didn't bring his Gundam in space because he didn't want to stand out. While this is happening, Wu Fei in Shinlong goes in to attack the Bulge. Oz sends Taurus mobile suits, and Alliance sends out Leos to attack the Gundam. A shuttle is leaving the Bulge. It is glasses off Lady Un. She preaches peace to Wu Fei. Huh? Duo and Hiro make their way to the hangar and escape in a pod, but before doing so, he is able to get the mobile suit dolls to shoot the Oz soldiers. On Earth, Zex makes his way into space in the Tall Geese. There is a large amount of Gundanium alloy being brought into lunar base, and he plans on going in to attack. Duo gets some rest while he plans his mission. On the lunar base, the Gundam engineers are creating 2 new mobile suits, the Mercurius and the Vayeate. The Oz 13 MS-X2 Mercurius, like the Vayeate at its core, is built with the Taurus at its starting point. When 5 engineers are in a room trying to solve a problem, you tend to get different solutions. So when tasked to create the perfect mobile suit, they agreed that this could not be done in one and designed 2 different mobile suits with 2 different purposes. The Mercurius is its defensive unit. Its main armaments is the Planet Defensor, which are small bits that use an electrostatic field to create a shield. It also has the Crash Shield, which integrates with a beam saber, creating a powerful weapon and shield. The Oz 13 MS-X1 Vayeate is the offensive twin to the Mercurius. The beam cannon's destructive power exceeds that of the Wing's Buster rifle, and it also does not have the 3-shot limit that Unit 1 has. This is because the beam cannon is powered by a beam generator mounted on the mobile suit's backpack, providing the weapon with virtually limitless ammunition charge. It has the ability to melt through Gundanium alloy. The one thing that can stop it is the Mercurius's shield. Meanwhile, Lady Un without glasses goes and talks to colony leaders about establishing themselves as a nation. They say that they wouldn't know where to produce the manpower to protect themselves as a nation. On Earth, former Alliance member and now freedom fighter Sally Pope finds the Sandrock Gundam at an Oz base. While trying to blow up the Gundam, the Magwanaut Corps is also breaking in and trying to take the Gundam back. Sally tries to blow it up but fails. The Magwanaut Corps handles business and grabs the Gundam. They get into a shuttle and begin to take off. Sally tries to stop them again, but they don't seem to be enemies, and she allows them to take the Gundam. Oz is testing a bunch of new citizen soldiers out in space. One of these soldiers is exceptionally good. It happens to be Trowa Barton. Lady Un with glasses makes him destroy the captured Death Scythe Gundam as a second test. He says he's going to need a bigger gun and fires on the unit. Duo watches this go down on the news and does a Star Wars. Lady Un, without glasses, talks to Trowa. He tells Lady Un that he really enjoys their subtle ways of taking over colonies. He sees right through Oz's plan. This causes her to freak out. Later, the engineers show off the new mobile suits to Trowa and Lady Un. While this is happening, someone pilots the half-built Vayeate. It attacks the engineers, but the shield from the Mercurius protects them. It was Hiro who was in the Vayeate. Trowa goes in and captures Hiro. And that will do it for this episode. We mentioned in earlier episodes of Lady Un's dissociative identity. Well, here it is in full action. Is it doing anything for you people? We are also seeing more pilots take a note from Hiro and try to kill themselves. Everyone is so impulsive that they are lucky that the script lets them live. Next time, we will see more of the Mercurius and Vayeate in action. Catra will also be the dramatic one next time. And we will see Zex finally assume the role of Miliardo Peacecraft of the Sank Kingdom. But that will do it for now, rebel colonists. Remember to make sure your self-destruct button works before heading out into battle. Peace.